Good evening. I'm your host, Selwyn Collins of CWS Conversations with Selwyn. Thank you for tuning in once again with us. I hope that you can hear me at some technical difficulties with the mic a little earlier. But anyway, those of you who are joining us for the first time, thank you so very much. I am very grateful for this. Tonight, we have a special guest, a brother from Jamaica, who I will introduce to you on the other side of the break formally. Um, what I want to say is that I'm especially glad that you are tuning in because those of you who are now tuning in for the first time, Tuesday is an extra day that we added to facilitate arts, culture, and entertainment. Simply because I believe that there are so many of us out there doing wonderful things, doing extraordinary things. I call them our unsung heroes who hardly ever get a chance to express themselves or to be known. And since this show is about informing, enlightening, and encouraging others, I thought it was wise to add an extra day. So thank you so very much. I'll take a break, and we have a packed show, so I'm not going to spend much time in my introduction. See you after the break. We are back. On the other side of the screen is my guest, Wayne Benjamin. Wayne, good evening, my friend.
Evening, Sylvan.
How are you today?
I'm a little bit under the weather, but other than that, I'm great.
Wonderful. As I said, I'm sorry that you had to come all the way to New York to get come down with a cold. But thanks for being a trooper. And I'm hoping that we'll have an exciting and informative and enlightening show. Um, I want to start by let me start by reading a few things about you. Wayne Benjamin is a video producer, director, cinematographer, editor who owns and operates Fabricated Projects. I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Yes, sir.
Fabricated Projects is a production unit that specializes primarily in the production of music videos, EPKs, and EPKs and tour documentaries, but also does a lot of corporate projects such as company profiles, training DVDs, television ads, infomercials, general documentaries, and short films. Fabricated Projects is also responsible for the creation of television shows such as The Lab Video Game TV, Dancehall Glory, Real Estate Complete, and more. I don't want to take much away from Wayne. I'm sure he has a lot to tell us about himself. But I want to start with a video I saw on your site, Wayne, where you were talking about a project, a film called, I think, the Craft or the Croft,
The craft.
the Croft, right?
Yeah.
And I was really intrigued by the concept. But what moved me even more was your authenticity, your commitment and determination to pursue this genre and bring it to the Caribbean. I think I watched it, I think, a couple nights ago, or it was late last night or something, but I was glued to that. And if that is any indication of the kind of work you do and your commitment, well, then I think we are all in for a wonderful ride with the projects that you have in mind. So, welcome to CWS, my brother.
Thanks for having me, Simon.
Um, on your website, you describe yourself as a video producer, director, cinematographer, editor. Which is your first love?
I put some thought into that, and I've come to the conclusion that my first love will be writing.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I did. That's the first thing I did when I was probably age somewhere between 10 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
I would write these short stories, or I even once tried to write a book when I was younger. My mother really was really she really motivated me and encouraged me to do these things. So I used to start writing from as young as that. And I realized that when I think about it, I mean, I love all aspects of the career, but I really do love writing the most.
Writing.
Yeah.
What does writing do for you?
It gives me, first of all, it gives me the most freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Out of other aspects of what I do, it gives me the most freedom because I can sit there and, although most of the times, especially in recent times, I create these screenplays um, in a realistic manner, meaning that I think to myself, well, suppose I was to actually be given the opportunity to turn this into a screenplay tomorrow or next week or next month. I have to be kind of practical and say, well, I can't have crazy stuff like people jumping out of helicopters and huge buildings exploding. So I will I will scale back a little bit on my creativity when writing, but ideally I can write anything I want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can write absolutely anything I want without thinking about budgetary constraints or anything else. Because while you're writing, it might not be even something you're writing to bring to the public. It might be just for my own personal amusement.
Mm-hmm.
So writing brings me the most freedom.
Glad to hear that. Please tell us about your company, Fabricated Projects. What are some of the current projects you're working on?
Current projects. Well, the most current would be 6 a.m. Jessica. I don't know if I'd call it a follow up or a sequel, but yeah, it's another part to the 6 a.m. series. 6 a.m. It started off with 6 a.m. Joel. In 2012, I believe, I created 6 a.m. Joel. This story about a man who is basically living on the edge. He's having a really hard time.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing leads to the other, and he just keeps having misery after misery after misery. And this one particular day, it got really bad, where he got home one day and he got saw an eviction notice on his front door. He had no food in his fridge, he had no water in the tap, and he got a really disturbing answering machine message from his girlfriend. and he just decided he was going to give up. He was really upset with God. He was
Hmm.
really upset with God, so he got on his knees and he started to pray, and he told God that this is the last time he's going to pray to him because he's really disappointed with his life thus far and the lack of involvement from his creator. And while in the middle of his prayer, he was visited by the devil. So basically, 6 a.m. Jessica is now similar, a lady who is also, in her opinion, on the edge, and she's visited by the same person again. That's basically what 6 a.m. Jessica is about. It's another short that's I'm doing in collaboration with the Caribbean Film Academy.
Is what?
It's a short film that I'm doing in collaboration with the Caribbean Film Academy.
Okay. Okay. And you started out your career as a photographer. What kind of photography do you most enjoy?
Truth, I don't enjoy photography, period. And I did it for 13 years, but I didn't enjoy it.
Why is that, Wayne?
It was just I just really didn't like it. There was nothing about it that I liked.
Wow.
I didn't realize what I enjoyed about photography until a long time after stopping photography. After getting deeper into cinematography,
Mm-hmm.
I realized how much what I learned over those 13 years helped me as a cinematographer. I didn't pay a lot of attention when I was doing photography because I really didn't like it. But like days like these, I realized that it did serve its purpose, but I did not enjoy being a photographer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I like the honesty. Did your parents take many photos when you were growing up as a young child?
Yes, because my father is a photographer. So I
Oh.
grew up in a household of photography, basically. And my brother also pursued it. He's still a photographer. He actually likes photography. So it was for him, but it wasn't for me. So yes, there was lots of photos.
So you guys collaborate sometimes?
Yes, we do. My brother is my DP a lot. He's my director of photography and my music videos a whole lot. He helps me out a whole lot. He's like my number one supporter. So yes, we could. We I don't really collaborate with him on his still photography projects.
Right.
He helps me out a whole lot on my motion pictures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how important is that to you that um, you have someone so close, a member of your family that you can collaborate with on your projects? How
It
important is that?
means it means almost everything to me. My brother is like, one of the most important persons in my life. He's like my guardian angel. And the fact that we are so close, it
Mm-hmm.
means a whole lot to me because I'm not very close with family. But my brother is like, we're the only thing closer than that is Siamese twins. We're almost joined at the hip. He's really important to me. And
Mm-hmm.
his support means a whole lot to me.
I hear that. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Kingston, Jamaica.
What was that like, Wayne? I mean, you said you started writing when you were like 10, 12. What was that like at that time? I mean, if you give us a reflection on your childhood, what was that like?
My childhood, it was well, I don't. It's not really. It's good to count your blessings and not complain a lot. But I guess my childhood was good, but I there was room for improvement, Selwyn.
Well, let me
I
ask you
was-
this way, Wayne. This is what I'm really interested in,
uh-huh.
and I should have framed the question this way. Um, how how much of your childhood do you see showing up in your work today? I mean, how much does your childhood influence your work today?
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
It influences a lot. Even the bad parts of my childhood influences a lot. I lost my mother at a very young age, and that affected my personality, and it helped to mold me into the person I am today. I don't get along too well with my father either. So all of that negative stuff, as negative as it is, it did play a huge part in making me the person I am today. The relationship I have with my brother, we were always close. We didn't spend a lot of time apart. We were always very close. That is a positive, and that helped to mold me as well. It helped me a lot. It shows in my work.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, a lot of stuff that happened in my childhood, good or bad. There was even a part of my childhood, I guess, in the teenage years, where I actually started to pursue music. And even though I let it go, and I'm glad I did, it still helped me to be the person I am today. I guess all knowledge is power, and all of those experiences did help me.
Mm-hmm.
one way or the other.
You know what
I
I'm?
think even, I'm
Sorry.
sorry, I think even the stuff that I might not be too fond of,
Mm-hmm.
my not so fond memories,
Mm-hmm.
I was still able to get good out of it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. What I'm curious about, a lot of times, and every country has its good and bad. I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from Guyana, so I'm fully aware of this. When people hear about Kingston, oftentimes they think about violence and and the bad stuff and so on. Was it like that when you were growing up as a child? Um, was it bad? Was it a tough place when to live in the streets?
No, no, it wasn't.
Okay.
Um, and I'm not sure exactly. I have an idea, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not 100% sure of foreigners' perception of Jamaica. I mean, yes, there's violence, but it's not like it's not like Beirut or the Middle East or anything. It's
Right.
not.
Right.
It's not that bad. I mean, I could, as a child, I freely walked up and down, walk miles with my friends up and down the road late hours of the night, and those were some of the fonder memories actually. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Jamaica, Kingston has its fair share of violence, but somehow I don't think it's as bad as people say it is.
Right.
I
Right.
didn't have to like be dodging bullets and stuff like that in the road. It wasn't that bad.
So what I was trying to lead into to ask you a personal question. I couldn't help noticing your adeptness at martial arts, and I was wondering what inspired that as a child. I mean, did you start as a child or young adult? What?
Yeah, it's interesting that you asked me that because I guess I should have mentioned that earlier when I was talking about stuff from my childhood that affected me today. I started martial arts young, 1989,
Hmm.
and I never stopped. It was very important. It played a really great part in molding me today because it taught me discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Taught me a whole lot of discipline. It taught me a lot. It's something that it means a whole lot to me. And even in some of the films that I've done and that I will do, you'll see reflections of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you talk of discipline. I heard through the grapevine that you're a dad and how much time you spend with your kids and how fond of them you are and so on. Um, um, did what is that like to you? How important is that to you? Being able to spend time with your kids, seeing that you have such a busy schedule
Spend time with my family.
with your
Is that
kids,
what you
right?
asked?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Time with my family. Yeah, it's very important. I like to consider my family my inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
The family that I would say I have left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Main persons would be my brother, my wife, my two kids. They're very important to me, and time with them is very important.
Mm-hmm.
It offers me a balance.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps me grounded.
Good.
Because I'm a workaholic. I get
Mm-hmm.
carried away with work. I just never stop.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll always be there to remind me
Mm-hmm.
that yeah, there's life outside of work.
You
That's
know.
really important. That's really important. And my kids are. I mean, they're like one is 4 and one is 10,
Mm-hmm.
and it being like so long, like 10 years, I'm still kind of amazed at them up until now. I've gotten used to them. I really haven't gotten used to them, and they still amaze me. All the time. They still amaze me. Sometimes I just look at them and I'll be like really amazed, like are these really my kids?
Right. Right. Right.
They're complete. They're like another dimension. There's complete. There's something else. They just offer you something so much more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're always there to remind me that there is more to life than just work. Because I'm deeply self-involved and kind of I'm kind of obsessed with my work. And whenever I get started with it, I'm just really focused. Like can liken myself to like a Terminator. I just stick to what I have to do, and by the hook or by the crook, I have to get it done in a timely fashion. And I have a way. Sometimes I get carried away and I might neglect
Yes.
family, friends. And it's good to know that every now and again, yeah, I can get a BlackBerry message from a brother saying, "What's up? We haven't gone out to lunch in a while. What's up?"
That's nice. That's really good. You know what I try to bring out of all my guests. I know that um, many people, our friends and family know us and know sides of us. What I try to bring out from our guests is a more three dimensional perspective. So I'm hoping that by the end of this conversation, our audience get a better, a more rounded, or a more multifaceted view of who you are, and help them to or inform them as to why this brother is so good at his craft. And I'm saying this because you mentioned discipline. And then when I asked you about family, I realized that balance is very important to you, right? And in your personal life, there's discipline and there's balance and so on. How do you incorporate those attributes or those principles in your work?
Okay, well, to be quite honest with you, Selwyn, I don't believe I incorporate balance very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lack of balance in my life.
Lack of balance. Okay.
There is a lack of balance. I'll be honest with you. There is a lack of balance. I'm
Mm.
like, if I'm not kept in check, like I can't do that by myself. So like I said, family comes in really good there. But I'm really, really, if one can be too focused, then that'll be me. Sometimes I overdo it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there is a bit of lack of balance. Discipline.
Yeah.
Um, where discipline is concerned, I think that just okay. I think that comes naturally based on other people's observation.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say it comes naturally because even when I'm not aware of it, people still say I'm disciplined. And some things that I'd consider the norm, other people will say, well, in order to do that, it requires a lot of discipline. And some people even go back to say, they'll look at my knuckles and they'll say, well, you do martial arts, and that must be where it comes from. So after a while, I mean, like I said, the martial arts thing was going on since 1989. That's like what? My math is poor. That's like what, over 20 years. That's a long time. So it's embedded in me.
Mm-hmm.
So discipline comes natural to me.
Good.
I there's certain things that I do religiously, like I work out.
Mm-hmm.
I have to work out religiously. I practice martial arts. So I've been a bit slack with that recently, but yeah, I practice martial arts as well. Once I have a project to complete, like sleep doesn't come into the equation.
Mm-hmm.
I stay really focused and I get it done. So I guess that's all discipline. But to this point, Selwyn, I can't tell you the secret to that because it just comes natural. I can't sleep or I can't rest until something is done. If somebody gives me something to do and I've committed myself to it, I just have to get it done.
I believe I can relate. I truly do. You not liking, having mentioned that you really didn't like photography. I hate to ask you this question, but I want to. What is the first camera you fell in love with?
What's the first camera I fell in love with?
Mm-hmm.
The first camera I fell in love with was a Canon XL2. Yeah. I love that camera since the XL1.
Uh-huh.
It was an amazing camera. I've always wanted it. And apparently, that stuff you hear about the power of the mind, whatever you think about, you bring about, is true because I've always wanted an XL1. I once heard that Spike Lee shot some movies with an XL1, and I really wanted it. I love aesthetics alone. Just the way it looks was really fascinating. I was completely fascinated by it, and I finally got an XL2S, I believe it was called, and
Uh-huh.
I really, really loved that camera. And I'm sorry I don't have it anymore because I really loved it.
It's funny. I was gonna ask if you still have it.
No, I sold it. I sold it. 2010, I believe I sold it and moved on to my next love. I'm a Canon fanboy, a Canon zealot. You
Why
see?
why Canon? Why for the film and photography enthusiasts out there? Why Canon? What's so special about it? I mean, we're not trying to plug or advertise for Canon here, but why Canon?
Okay, it's not gonna be a really good ad for Canon because the reason why I stick to Canon, I guess that's one of the things from back in the days when I was a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my dad had his Nikons and whatnot, but after a while he moved over to the EOS series and we just got a lot of Canons and I was just a Canon fanboy. It's like I guess I'm like that. If the first set of stuff I'm introduced and I use a lot, once it worked,
Mm-hmm.
I'll stick to it. Like with video games. I mean, before Sega stopped making hardware, I was a Sega zealot. I had a Sega Master System, the Sega Genesis, the Sega Saturn, the Sega Dreamcast. So same thing with Canon. And I just used a lot of Canons, and I found that Canons did the job. If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. So one Canon, and okay, at first it was just a bias, but then Canon proved that it's really a quality camera.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never had a Canon that disappointed me. So I'll stick to what I know of. I mean, I've used other cameras, the Panasonics and what have you, and the Nikons, but even to this day, Nothing works for me better than
Do I
a
do I
cat.
do I do I detect some loyalty in your personality there, Wayne?
Um, some loyalty.
Yes, yes, yes.
Apparently, yes. Apparently, I'm a Saint. Apparently, there is some loyalty to Canada. They
Well,
do the trick. They do the trick. I was really happy
uh-huh,
to hear that they used one of the cameras that I use.
uh-huh.
They used it to shoot the fight scenes in like Captain America and Iron Man and the Avengers. So like the close quarters scenes. I was really happy for that. So yeah, I'm a bit biased towards Canada. I can't hide it.
Good man. Good that you have the tools, or you've been able to use the tools that you like. What initially drew you into the video production world though?
That was what drew me into the video production world was my life in photography. Because you see, here's the thing: even though my father was a photographer, it's like he bought video cameras.
Hmm.
As far back as I can remember, it could be as young as age 6 or 7. I was just fascinated by motion pictures. Still, pictures are all good and well, but to see them moving, I was always fascinated by it. I was always toying with the video cameras that my dad bought me. He bought, I was always playing with them, always doing my little playing around with my brothers and sisters and whatnot, and running around with the camera. I was just fascinated by motion pictures, and one thing led to the other. I mean, eventually, I would start off shooting like through my father's company, weddings and parties, sweet 16s and so forth. And I wasn't really satisfied with them, but I was still fascinated by them. And after a while, I started to get into editing. I decided that I wanted to make some movies.
Y-
And at that point,
mhm.
I most certainly could not pay an editor. So I decided to invest in a PC. But the thing about it is, there was this guy called Clarence. No, Clarence was a really good person, and I'll never forget him. There are certain people who just like they're benchmarks in my life, and Clarence Roy he's a really good person. He would when I did these sweet 16s and weddings and whatnot, I'd go over to his place. He could be charging me, but he didn't. What he would do is I'd go over to his place and we'd start off where he would edit them for me, and while editing, I'd watch him. And then Clarence would also give me some pointers. If I ask him a question, he answers them, and eventually I started to learn not only the editing from Clarence, and then after a while, I was able to put together some money and get my own PC, get a little editing program. And while trying to figure things out by myself, I'd refer to Clarence and any other editor I might know. They give me some tips, and I decided to learn from there. And um, oh, I'm not going off on a tangent here, but I started to, I had in mind, like I said, I was writing, so I wrote these little scripts. One for this movie called this 3-part miniseries called Jano Star, and then another one called Find Cargill. Friends, family get together, make these movies, and I had to edit them. So I kind of edited. I kind of learned while I went along.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, no, you're not going off at a tangent because a part of our guests are I mean is are the youths, and I always try to engage our guests in conversations that can enlighten, inform, and inspire our youths and so on. And you're dropping some wonderful pearls of um, principles, or personal principles, or principles to success. And what I got from what you said just now, working with your father or in that environment, I got a couple of things from that. How important it is to have people around you who are experienced and knowledgeable in whatever field it is that you want to do. You were fortunate it was your dad. Some people have to go out and find those people. I call them mentors. And I'm going to ask you just now, a question about how you feel about mentors. But I just want to state what I got from this. Investing in a PC, going over to a friend and learning, watching, observing what he's doing and learning. And what it says to me is that you had this desire, and you had this passion, and you had this commitment. That am I right so far?
You are very much
Hmm.
right.
So before we go on a break, what I want to ask you, what do you think about mentorship or mentoring? How important is that?
It is very important because you have to learn from somewhere. No, I remember. I told you like maybe a couple of days ago about me teaching people that I wasn't the greatest teacher.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do is for people to observe. You can come around me, you can observe, you can ask questions, but I might not, give you a textbook format, like, tell you this, and stages. You have to learn for yourself. But that's what I got from Clarence. And mentorship, even if you're going to do it in the textbook way, it's really important. You have to learn from somewhere. You have to learn from people who have done it, people who have gone through the ups and downs, people who have tried and failed and got up and tried again.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important. It's very, very important to have somebody to, look up to aspire towards. Like Clarence, that was him. At that time, it was definitely him. He would do stuff that would blow my mind. I'd see things and I'd be amazed. And that meant a lot to me. And up to this day, I still have people I look up to. People are still teaching me things. I have a friend called Trevor Bailey. I've learned a lot from him without him actually getting up and saying, Wayne, do this, do that, this is the way. Just observing him and listening to things he says. And he like introduced me to a new piece of software, an amazing piece of software that I use to edit now. And that's just, you just have to keep learning. You have to always be a sponge, always be willing to learn and even learn from negative experiences. Just take everything as a chance to learn. Somebody can be a mentor without even wanting to be a mentor. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
True. True. So it really does take a village. All right. Let's take a quick break. The person on the other side of the screen is my guest tomorrow, Moeli Mushlala, from South Africa. Please tune in tomorrow and join the conversation. Those of you who are tuned in, please take the opportunity to go into our chat room and ask our guests questions or make comments. It's a three-dimensional process. We're all part of a family here, so don't be shy about that. We are back, and on the other side of the screen is my guest, Wayne Benjamin. So, Wayne,
Yeah.
how are you holding up, my brother?
I'm trying to.
You're a
I'm
troop.
trying not to cough. I'm not trying not to cough or blow my nose on screen.
Okay, okay. We'll try to fit in some more breaks, man. Oh gosh. I want to go into the chat room. Mickey said, "I am thrilled you've added another evening." Thank you, Mickey. GD asked, "What was your first film? Was it successful?"
Um, my first film. Ah, tricky. Um, I guess my first film would have been, I mean, some little stuff before, but most important one, I guess, would be 6 a.m. Joel. Successful? No, it wasn't. I mean, it was successful, but not, in monetary terms,
Mm-hmm.
It served its purpose, it kind of started off as just a little pet project to catch a film festival. I know, one of the rules are unwritten rules: do not make a film, do not rush a film just in time for a film festival. But I felt the need to make 6 a.m. Joel. I felt the need to have something at that festival, and that's exactly what I did it for. It took me like 6 hours to shoot it and 6 hours to edit it, no pun intended. But that would be the first official film, I guess. And success in teaching me some stuff and getting me some um, getting me noticed by a couple of people. I mean, like it's at the Harlem, the People's Film Festival in Harlem this month, and I didn't even expect it to go that far, but it did. So it's successful in that term, but no, Steven Spielberg success.
Well, congratulations anyway. And GD again asked, how do you handle failure?
I believe generally I
Uh-huh.
handle it well because I'm still at it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, on a micro level, I don't. Sometimes I have my own fair shares of breakdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't take disappointment very well, but after a while, it's not really a big deal because okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about failures. It it basically just tells you one of the ways that you should be doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And if you love what you do, you don't want to take it too hard. But if you don't, then failure will crush you. But if you find something that you do, if you believe in what you do and do what you believe in, then you will take failure pretty well. You'll understand that's just a learning experience. That's
Right.
really important to just know that if you fail 10 times to pick a fruit off of a tree, then that just means that's 10 ways that you shouldn't have done it. Find the 11th one, maybe that's the winner.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much. I try to subscribe to paradigms like that in order to get over failures because you'll buck up on failures every day, and after a while you become immune to them, I guess. And if you really, really, I mean, I know I'm repeating myself, but if you really love what you do, then you'll find that your passion for what you do will overshadow the failure, and you just get up. Even when you say you quit, even when you say this is it, I'm done, you'll find that give you a couple of minutes, couple of hours, maybe a day, and you're back at it.
Yeah.
It's like a sweet addiction, a healthy addiction.
I like that. Joy asked, do you act in your films?
Yep, I definitely do. I was in 6 a.m. Joel, and I was in the craft, and I'm in 6 a.m. Jessica. I act in quite a few of them, not all of them, but and actually it was funny circumstances why I even ended up acting in the craft. But yeah, I do act in my stuff.
Mm-hmm. And Kali, what would you say is your technical specialty as a videographer?
My technical specialty,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Um, I'm not. To be honest, I don't completely understand the question, but I I do so much. I guess director. I guess being a director would be my specialty. I guess.
Director.
Yeah, because the thing about it, the thing about it is that I do most of the projects that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have my hands in a lot of places, like an octopus. It's like a lot of the music videos I do. I'm the director. When my brother isn't working with me, I'm the DP. I do the producing, I write the treatments, and I edit them. And one of the reasons for that is because, unfortunately, maybe it's a weakness of mine, but I'm a control freak. And I don't mean to stretch the answer out too long, but I'm happy that I met a certain bunch of people. One woman in particular, Romola Lucas from the Caribbean Film Academy, because she allowed me to experience something that in all these years of cinematography and directing I never really experienced.
Mm-hmm.
But to be on a set and never touch the camera, you just come on the set and you do exactly what you're supposed to do. You don't have to be that this jack of all trades thing. That was a really great experience in the craft last year. Most of the stuff I do, I just have my fingers into it and everything. This time I won't even be editing 6 a.m. Jessica, so that's really a great experience.
So you had to let go.
I have to what?
You had to let go. I mean, somebody
Yeah, I have
else.
to let go. And funny enough that you say that. It reminds me of what this Jamaican director told me some years ago. I think maybe in 2008. This guy called Casa. He's a popular music video director in Jamaica. He said to me that that's what you have to do. You have to let go. You
Mm-hmm.
can't do that. It's not the right path to success to be trying to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time it started off from basically budgetary restraints, constraints, like lack of funds would make me have to do all these things and learn all these things. But after a while, when you grow, when you start to mature in the industry, you realize that it's not healthy to be doing all that. It's not really the most efficient way of doing things. You have to leave a pro to do what the pro does and understand that you're as good as the people you work with. So if you have a good DP, like Justin Blaze, if you have a good DP to work with like him, you just know you can leave, the cinematography up to him and just do your directing. If you have a good producer like Ramona Lucas, you can just leave her and just trust her to make certain judgments, and you can just leave it up to her to take control of certain things. And you don't have to worry about it. You really do have to let go. It's not healthy to try to do every single thing on set. It might feel good at first, and you feel really nice to know your name is in the credits all over, but it's really not good. And as you grow,
Lin, Lin said, Wayne, I'm enjoying hearing out your journey. Do you have a favorite film genre that you enjoy watching?
yes, that would be sci-fi. I,
Sci-fi.
I love myself with sci-fi. I love films. Okay, even to get deeper into it, I love films involving the end of the world, like the apocalypse. Like one of my favorite films is 28 Days Later. That is like one of my all-time favorites. I love movies like that where the world is like post-apocalyptic, like something terrible happened. Like I love The Stand, Stephen King's The Stand, that four-part series.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing. Stuff like that, I don't know what it does to me, but to watch a good post-apocalyptic or end of the world movie, I really, really love it.
What would you say about apocalypse that appeals to you so much?
I have no, I'm not sure what it is because even back in the days as a kid, teenager, I would have dreams. I'd have dreams, and these dreams would come in like sequences about like the end of the world and the stuff like Revelations
Mm-hmm.
and the mark of the beast, and I was obsessed with it as a teenager, and it just really excites me to think about certain things like this. It completely excites. I'll just get lost. I'll watch 28 Days Later over and over. I watch The Stand over and over, and The Stand is like an hour and a half per episode, and that's 4 episodes, so it's really long. But certain movies I'll just always watch. I don't know what it is, Selwyn. Those movies just amaze me once done properly.
It's interesting that you said that in your video that I watched the other night, where you were talking about your future plans for a particular genre of film, a horror film in Jamaica and the Caribbean and so on. Um, and I was intrigued by that. I, is it fair to ask you this publicly? Are some of those experiences you've had, dreams, whatever you want to call it, astral travel, whatever, are would some of those things play a part in those movies that you have planned, those films?
I'm sorry. Some of what thing?
Some of the dreams you had, some of your obsession as
Yes,
a child,
yes,
would it?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they do.
Good.
They came from they moved from creepy dreams to fascinating memories, and they cemented certain things in my mind that just fascinate me. I'm just fascinated by that kind of stuff. Like what if there was once, I don't know if the comic books are still around, but as a teenager I used to collect comic books, and there was this Marvel series called What If, and they put these scenarios like what if Spider-Man wasn't bitten by the spider or whatever, and I'm always thinking like what if this was to really happen? I mean, how would it affect civilization? How would it affect people? How would it affect individuals? How much would it change somebody? You're an okay average person now doing your job in 9 to 5 or whatever, punching your clock and living your normal life, having your wife and kids, and you're a normal guy. And everybody thinks you're a great guy. Well, what would happen if all that was broken down, right? And you were like living in a world where you had to be hunting for food and there were cannibals after you and all this kind of stuff. It's just totally amazing. And the movies that I make now, 6 a.m. is a reflection of that. The Craft is a reflection of stuff that happened in my childhood because The Craft is loosely, very loosely, I emphasize on the word loosely, based on a real experience with my father. You know, um, I guess this isn't really a spoiler, but in the craft, this guy is driving up into the mountains. He wants a break from the hustle and bustle because he wants to write the screenplay, and he's driving up into the mountains and he sees this strange lady standing on the side of the road, and for whatever reason he stops to check out what's up with this lady, and she grabs at the back door of the car and he drives off, and that really happened. I mean, in real life, it wasn't a ghost, but I was driving up Red Hills one day with my dad as a kid, and this creepy looking lady was standing on the side of the road, and he decided to stop and ask her for directions. And when he did, she just rushed for the back door and grabbed the back lock, and he drove off. And that, so yeah, stuff that happened to me as a child, not just the dreams, but yeah, stories I heard. I grew up around a lot of nannies and stuff like that, and gardeners and people from the rural parts of Jamaica. And even though people all over Jamaica have their own ghost stories and beliefs, I believe people from the rural parts of Jamaica, they're deeper into it and they believe in it a lot more, and they have a whole lot more fascinating stories. So I heard a lot of these stories as a kid growing up. I was fascinated by them then. I was a scaredy cat as a kid. When I heard these stories, they scared me. They don't scare me anymore, but they still do fascinate me. So stuff from my childhood definitely is a reflection of what I do now.
Well, we are definitely looking forward to seeing some of them on the screen.
Yeah.
You heard me?
Yeah, you're looking forward to
Yes.
seeing some of the stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And Mickey asks, did you have any formal training or primarily through observation, trial and error?
I had some formal training, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Very little. Most of it was definitely trial and error. Most of it was like self-taught and bothering more experienced friends, calling them at ungodly hours, asking them questions. Yes, most of it was just self-taught. I didn't go to any film school or anything like that. But I went to some video production course in Jamaica. But where editing is, what that course taught me was some fundamentals, some foundation things like the various aspects of production, the pre, the post, and production. It taught me some foundation stuff, but most of it was learned from just asking questions and trying out stuff for myself.
Mm-hmm. When describe the style of your music videos. What informs your work generally?
What does what?
What informs your work generally?
What informs it?
Yeah, your videos, the style of music videos
Okay.
that you shoot. What?
Okay. First of all, I prefer to do what is known in Jamaica as reggae videos as opposed to dancehall videos. I know a lot of persons might not know the difference between reggae and dancehall. I guess that's similar to the difference between calypso and soca. I don't really know the difference between calypso and soca, but I hear there is one, and I think it's very similar with reggae and dancehall. Now, dancehall is more the up tempo, the high tempo, pop music style of dancehall. Reggae is more, I mean, people tell you that it's all reggae, but more like Bob Marley, one drop, stuff like that. And I prefer to do those. I prefer to do those, and I do most of my videos are reggae videos, slow pace videos. I prefer them because a music video hardly ever goes longer than 4 minutes, and I do like to tell a story. And if I'm not telling a story, I do like to, well, for lack of a better word, show off my shots. If I did a shot, if I did a nice dolly shot or a nice glide cam shot or a nice jib shot, I like for it to be seen. I don't want to have to cut it off really fast because I'm trying to go to the tempo of the song, the beat of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So, like a deep storytelling vibe in my cinematography would be more like, one of the trademarks. Because I get to understand I do have a particular look to my videos. And people will tell me that even if I took the name from the credits of the video, they'd still know it was me. And I think that's a combination of color treatments and shot composition. And I do like to tell a story when I can.
So, what does a typical work day as a producer, video producer, looks like for you?
Okay, well, a typical work day. We would divide that into three parts. You have a typical pre-production work day where the client, say we're talking about music videos, the client, he or she submits a song, you create the treatment, you send the treatment off to them, and you do your crew assembly and your talent scouting and your location scouting, and then we go into the next step, which will be typical production day. You'll be on set, shooting your music video, getting everything in order, working with your crew and working with the talent and hoping that nothing goes wrong. Post, post is fun. Post is a lot of fun, but I only enjoy posting and post producing my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really, it's fascinating to see things move from, a treatment or a script, to on his TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't take a lot of time. I mean, my turnaround time is really remarkable. That's what I've heard from my clients. I don't take a really long time to do these things because I plan my edit from pre-production. From everything treatment, I have the visuals in my mind. So a typical post-production day will be, editing, um, color grading, color correcting. If it's like a television show or a movie, you're going to do. I'll be working on the audio as well. Like I told you, I jack of all trades. I have my tentacles and everything. So I'll be balancing some audio and getting it ready to show the client the first draft. Luckily for me, most of the time my first draft is the final cut. I really don't like going back. It's a pet peeve of mine to return, to go around
Mm-hmm.
or to go back. And then the distribution. I also help with the distribution of my stuff. I'm talking about music videos here.
Right.
I help with the distribution and stuff. So that's another part of the post production day. You hit the streets and you get to wherever you have your beer or deliver it to wherever it needs to be delivered.
So
Does that answer your question?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So since you have a preference for reggae videos over dancehall, how do you handle? Do you get a lot of requests to film or to make dancehall videos?
No, and I think that's again I think that's the power of the mind. Like when you think about you bring about because I do dancehall videos, but most of the videos come my way is some reggae videos.
Mm-hmm.
I get what I prefer.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
I have my kids. I prefer daughters, and I got them.
But what would you say is the biggest, most let's say, most interesting trend in producing music videos right now?
Oh, the trend in producing music videos. Oh my lord. Um, okay. I don't like the trend.
You don't
You
like the.
know.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like the trend. I guess I'm one of those who don't really go with the crowd. I don't really like the trends that I see. Like it seems to be a bit of a cookie cutter trend where if you've seen one video, you've seen them all kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always blame the producers or the directors because sometimes, the client might say they want it to look this way or I want it to look that way, or the songs don't change much. But sometimes I wish, there'd be a little bit more heart put into some of these videos. I mean, I'm not saying my videos are the greatest videos in the world, but that's the thing about me. I don't like the person who just finds the problem. If you have a problem and you come up with your own solution, then I respect you for that, regardless of what your solution is, whether I agree with it or not. So, I might not like a lot of videos that I see, but I try to create ones that I do like. And the problem is that some of them just, like, it's just too easy. Like, a lot of people choose the easy way out. They'll, dancehall videos. If the artist is singing about the beautiful ladies, um, jiggling their attributes and whatnot and their assets. There is more than one way to skin a cat. You don't have to just go the typical girl shaking her booty by the fancy car or there's more ways to do it. And I've seen it done. I might not have done many dancehall videos to say I have a lot to choose from, but I've seen it done. There can be more creativity put into it. People just choose the easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
If the artist is singing about the red box under the orange tree, you put the artist with a red box seated on an orange tree. You don't have to do that. There can be a little bit more diversity, some more creativity put into the thing. And that's the trend that I see where people go really literal with the thing or people do this cookie cutter thing where a lot of people are going to say, oh, great, it's just another booty shaking video. It's just another um, ghetto video where somebody's singing about hard times and poverty and we see the exact same things over and over. So I don't like the trend.
Well,
That's the best way to sum it up.
so is it safe to assume that you prefer or metaphors are more creative than just the literal representation of the
Yes.
song?
Yes. I definitely believe that. I believe even sometimes I might create a treatment and it might not be the most creative treatment around, and I might even wish to myself that, hey, maybe if there was a better budget, I could have actually done something outside the box. But I do believe that. I mean, come on, we don't need. I don't think it should be done that way. The artists do not like underestimate the intelligence of the viewing public. Don't
Mm-hmm.
tell yourself that, hey, if I don't spell it out for them, they're not going to get it. No, that's not it. I mean, these same people who are watching your music videos, they're watching all the other movies in the world on cable, all the other creative movies. They're watching the Dexters and the Spartacus and everything else. They're watching the videos on MTV. So don't tell yourself that, okay, fine, maybe my target audience, maybe the Jamaican people or whoever are watching this movie might not get it. Watching this music, they might not get it, so I need to spell it out. And if the artist says A and B, I need to depict A and B in the video in a literal way. No, you don't have to do that.
Here,
You're
here,
insulting the intelligence of your viewers.
and hearing that way, and I am wondering how much creative control do you expect or command from your clients?
Okay, well, I'm a control freak,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I try not to demand, but I try to make my reputation speak for itself. And I assume that if somebody seeks me out to do a music video for them, they'll have seen my work before, and they'll have respected it enough to say, let me give this guy a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to talk to my clients, and I'd like 100% creative control. I know that sounds a bit arrogant, but that's what ideally that's what I'd like. Because I don't need the client's help to create the treatment. I don't need the client's help to shoot the video. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe that if you came to me, it's like you go to a doctor. You can try to, self-diagnose. You can try to diagnose yourself if you want to. But how many people go to the doctor's office and say, no, that's not the way you're supposed to hold a stethoscope. That's not the way you're supposed to hold a syringe. Usually, you give the doctor freedom to do what he does. And I'm not the same. I'd really like the same because I just like to hope that my work speaks for itself. And you don't really need to, micromanage or manage the period. You just say, you carry a car to a mechanic and you say, well, the crankshaft is busted. You don't tell the mechanic how to fix the crankshaft, right? You just trust him to do his job.
I got you. I want to take a quick break, but I have two questions for you. Um, One, Greg asked, "What is attractive to you about the intersection of film and music?" And the next one, hold on, is by Kali. With the breadth of music videos, do you feel a need to constantly reinvent yourself as a music videographer? I think we'll take a break for Kali's, but can you answer Greg quickly? Is that
Go get his specs, please, real
Greg?
quick.
Question is, what is attractive to you about the intersection of film and music?
It's fun. It's really fun.
Fun.
Film music is really fun. It gives you another way to create a story. It's really fun, especially if it's a nice song. It's really fun to get up and think of new creative ways to put visuals to music. It's really fun. It's kind of exciting. I mean, I believe the novelty is wearing off a bit for me. I think I'm outgrowing it a bit, but especially with deep songs, deep meaningful songs.
Mm-hmm.
When I get a really nice, impactful song, and I say, yes, I'd love to put visuals to this. It's fun. That's the best way to describe it, and that's kind of vague, but it's really fun to put visuals to music.
Thanks for that.
Hope
Thanks for
that
your
makes sense.
authenticity, my brother. Let's take a quick break, and I mean quick. We are back. When
Yes.
the last, I hope you're getting through with that cold, my brother. I'm really sorry about this, but you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Um, the last question was by Kali. With the breadth of music videos, do you feel a need to constantly reinvent yourself as a music videographer?
Yes. I do feel the need. I do believe that I do not reinvent myself enough, but I definitely see the need. I wish I could reinvent myself some more faster,
Mm-hmm.
because you know it's a it's kind of fast paced and trends change, especially music change really really fast. The style of music also changes, even though it's the same genre. Lots of things change, and I wish I could reinvent myself a whole lot faster. I do, but not enough. But yeah, reinvention is important.
Okay. You also produce tour documentaries.
Yeah.
Who's the most interesting person you ever interviewed for a tour documentary?
Well, honestly, I've only done tour documentaries for one set of people,
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest with you, I love working with them. It's a group called TOK. It's amazing working with them. But when I think about tour documentaries,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you, out of all the other things I do, music videos, television shows, movies, whatever, I've been most selective when it comes to tour documentaries. I do not want to end up in Australia with a bunch of people who I have bad chemistry with.
I hear that. I hear that.
That's really sensitive to me. I don't know. I want to be like 45, take like a 45-hour flight from my home, thousands of miles to the other side of the earth, to be with some people that I'm not comfortable with. And TOK, I'm really comfortable with them. And I can just think to myself right now, particular artists that I would like to tour with, and particular artists that I would not be caught dead touring with. So the tour documentary thing is kind of funny. So I've only toured with one group, but I'm cool with that group alone so far.
For someone who is brand new to video production or documentary filmmaking, what would you say to the is the number one top thing they need to learn?
You need to learn commitment.
Commitment. I like that.
Yeah, you need to learn how to be committed to something. You need to make up your mind, make a conscious decision
Mm-hmm.
that this is what you're going to do. It's not just a hustle. You're not doing it because you just can't find anything better to do. You're not doing it because you were forced to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make up your mind that you're going to be committed to. Because I believe that in any aspect, I mean, in anything you do, any career endeavor that you go off on, I mean, you need to be committed to it. I'm sure. I'm not saying that my field is any more challenging than anybody else's, but from personal experience, I just know that you have to love this because there are certain things that you do that if you don't love it, sitting in front of a computer editing something for hours or sometimes days, if you don't love that, going through certain little things and After Effects or whatnot, it's just if you don't love it, it's just impossible to do it. It's impossible to get up. And I remember once I did this music video medley, and at the end of the when we wrapped, somebody, I think the BTS operator told me that, hey, Wayne, we just worked for 16 hours straight. A 16-hour work day. And to do stuff like that, I mean, you have to be militant. You have to really commit. So you have to earn commitment. You have to make a conscious decision. My wife told me that many years ago. Wayne, conscious decision is important. You have to make conscious decisions. You have to be sure that this is what you want to do. And then everything else will fall into place.
Wayne,
Yes?
I'm gonna go there for a bit. I know, you know, we almost like half hour away from 10 o'clock, but I want to go there about that conscious decision. T- Talk a little bit more about that. Let's say for a young person or anybody listening in and they're curious, talk a little bit more about that conscious decision and how important it is in anything you do.
You know, I think that conscious decision comes naturally. And I can only speak for myself.
Mm-hmm.
It comes naturally. It's easy to make that conscious decision. I make conscious decisions in certain aspects of my life, and that's what has gotten me so far.
Got you.
The cinematography. I
Mm-hmm.
made up my mind. I made a conscious decision that this. I'm not even sure at what point I made this decision regarding cinematography
Mm-hmm.
or directing, video producing, in general, motion picture production. But I just know I did. And once you do that, you get into a mindset. It's like say say you're addicted to something like smoking or whatever. I understand that people use patches and whatever else, and I'm not a smoker, so maybe I can't relate, and it's unfair for me to say this. But I believe that if you made a conscious decision to stop, based on what I've seen in my life, you would stop. Because my father was a chain smoker. My mother smoked a lot. And they both stopped cold turkey. They didn't have to use any patches. They didn't have to meditate. They didn't have to pray. They just stopped cold turkey. They decided that, hey, enough of this. You know, I know somebody who smoked a lot, and at one point, you know, her chest started to hurt. I should have stopped smoking for like 2 years. So I mean, conscious decisions are very powerful. Just get up and say, yes, I'm going to do this. You'd be surprised to know. I mean, just believe in what you're saying, though. You don't just say it for the sake of saying it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sell any, magic remedies. But if you it's worked for me, somewhere. It might sound airy fairy, but it's worked for me.
Works for me too.
I get up and I say, you know what? I'm going to work out 4 days a week, Monday to Thursday. And I understand how important it is to me. I understand how fulfilling it is for me to work out. I mean, when you just start off, it might be the hardest thing to do. But at some point, something clicks in your head, and it's just what you're gonna do, and you're gonna do it no matter what. Yeah. So if I have a broken leg, God forbid, I'm gonna do push-ups. Okay, if I got a sprained wrist or a broken arm, you're gonna see me doing squats and kicks and whatnot. There's never a reason not to work out. If I'm sick, like I am now, 300 push-ups will make me feel a whole lot better than just curling up in bed in the fetal position, hoping for the best. That works better than any medicine. So nothing, to me, maybe that's not true. Maybe it's just me telling myself that, but the mind is very powerful. And that's a conscious decision. And that's why I'll never stop working out. I mean, I'll never stop working out. My martial arts instructor is about, I heard that like a couple of months ago that he's like 80.
What?
And he could whoop my ass. I mean, sorry, he could whoop my butt, He's a like a grandmaster, and he could really kick me to the floor if he wanted to, and many others. But he's like 80, so there's like, I have so many, and even for him to achieve that is a conscious decision. So I have no reason to ever stop. So things like that just work for me, and I'm able to make conscious decisions.
We will quote you on CWS, conscious decision, one day. I intend to put a collection of quotes, famous quotes by my guests. So I'll definitely quote conscious decision. I like that a lot. Let me go to make a conscious decision to go to the chat room. Kali asked, what do you think of Twitter as a resource? Has it helped you create opportunities for yourself?
Yes. Sometimes the people I know, like my brother, he'd say that he doesn't really frequent the social media, the Facebook and the Twitter and all these places. I understand that it does nothing for a lot of people. And for some people, it's just a social thing, a personal thing, a friend thing. But I've met a lot of important people through Facebook and these things. Twitter, I'll tweet. I've met people on Twitter. I've had discussions with people on Twitter that led to other things. So, I mean, once you're doing visual arts, like if you're doing multimedia, if you're doing anything like that, if you're a lawyer or a doctor, it might not seem very helpful, but you're creating graphics, you're creating motion pictures, you're a photographer, you're a fashion designer, you're a tattoo artist, whatever once your thing can be represented visually like that, it has to help you.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest with you, the only reason why I've offended a few people on Facebook before when I've told them that, hey, don't get it twisted. The only reason why I'm on this is for business.
Yes.
Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, not so much, but Twitter and Facebook, yeah, and YouTube, it's really important.
And DSACB asked, could you please share video samples of dancehall or reggae documentaries, TOK films, etc. you produced, YouTube?
Examples of ones I've done.
Yes.
Okay. TOK in Costa Rica. TOK's European Spring Tour 2011. Those have been a couple of the tour documentaries I've done. Music videos. Yeah, this is a tricky one. It always gets me because I'm sure I'm coming really close to 150 music videos. And for some strange reason, Selwyn, when people ask me what music videos I've done, I tend to draw a blank. Why? But it's coming from really far back. A lot of people would remember this video from back in the days. One of the first videos I've ever done. Not really hot now. I look back at it, it's kind of crappy. But yeah, In Our Heart for Capleton, that's his dance song. And that's one of the early videos I've ever done.
Okay.
Reggae videos. I've done so many videos. Maybe it's best if I try to tell you some of my favorites because I remember those. Um, like "Hot in the Streets" by Highway and Firestar and Buzz Rock that are shot in Florida. One of my favorites. Favorites because I guess there's a lot of nostalgia attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's this artist. He's actually based here in New York called Tom Lane. I did some stuff for him as well. Come back home and Belly of the Beast, and I'm working on some stuff for him now while I'm up here. I love those videos as well. I've worked with a lot of artists. I worked with Jack Cure. I've worked with Davil. I've worked with Lady G. I've worked with Lutan Fire. I've worked with so many artists. I've done a lot of work with TOK. So if you're asking me the difference, like between the dancehall and the reggae, well, a lot of the TOK videos that I've done, which is quite a few, Gypsy Wine and lots of them, that was dancehall. Stuff that I did for like Davil and Lady G and Lutan Fire, Falling for You, This Love, and stuff like that. That's the reggae stuff right there. And you can, and the best way, even better than words, you can always visit my website, fabricatedprojects.com, and you'll see a lot of the stuff I've done. It's segmented really well on the website, so you can click through the movies, the music videos, the tour documentaries, some of the corporate stuff, and what have you. I have this nice little thing called Us and Them. I didn't mention that as well. This drama series I'm working on. There's a demo of it on it as well, so you can see a lot of the stuff there. Just get the spelling right. It's spelled kind of funny
It's
with a K.
let me spell it out for them. Where it's fabricated projects, FABRIKATED and PROJEX
Yeah.
.com.
You type it into Google and it'll take you to my YouTube, my website, whatever. But if you go to the website, it's organized pretty well. To the viewer who asked that question, it's organized pretty well. You'll see a lot of samples of what I have done and what I'm planning to do on that website.
Thank you. And DSCB said, really awesome. And so let me
Like,
go back to some questions. What is the most challenging aspect of producing a music video?
the most challenging aspect of producing a music video, in my experiences, is the lack of a proper budget. The thing is, and this is why I prefer to do reggae videos. Now, this is not the only reason, but it's an important reason. Unfortunately, a lot of my dance hall artists, my dance hall clients, they sing these things in the song that, you know, some really flashy stuff, some really nice stuff they say in the song. And it'll be, it can be likened to a lot of those R&B songs,
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that you sing, just like a Jamaican version. And, with small budgets, it's really impossible to pull it off properly, because, everything, the layman might watch a music video and take it for granted and just think that, you watch a Rihanna video and you see like 2 dozen dancing girls choreographed really well, doing a tight routine. And, you take for granted the process leading up to that. You take for granted, you might think to yourself that, well, these girls just came on set looking like this.
Right.
No, that's wardrobe and makeup, a lot of wardrobe and a lot of makeup. Outside of the music videos, they look like ordinary people. And to create that look, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of money. To get the Bentleys and the whatever all the popular cars are out there in the video, that takes a lot of money. You can't just call up some friends and say, hey, come as you are, or get your car to the car wash and meet me at X spot. No, it has to be done properly. So it's a real challenge to try to do some of these videos for some of the things that these artists are saying and to get it done right. Sometimes I can't really blame some of the directors who say, hey, let's just go to a sound stage and shoot this in a black room. Or like Jamie Foxx Gold Digger video where you just saw different color backgrounds and whatnot. You can't blame the local directors sometimes when they just do that, because it's really hard. Because what's going to happen, Selwyn, is that you're going to shoot this video, you're going to try to get this up in the club look, this swag look that you see in the MTV videos, without the MTV videos budgets. And what's it going to look like? It's going to look really mediocre. People are going to see that, hey, you're just trying. You're just trying to get something done, but you didn't quite get there. And that's a challenge. That's a bit of a challenge. So budgets is the biggest challenge.
So what is the biggest mistake you see beginners in video production make?
I'm sorry, go again?
What is the biggest mistake you see beginners in video production make?
They take things for granted. They neglect important things. They neglect like some core foundational things. Like beginners might think, like I said before, they take some serious things for granted. They watch a video and think that, hey, all we need? Oh yeah, and this is a really big problem. A lot of beginners believe that the equipment is what made the video. So if I'm able to go and rent a Canon 5D Mark III, I can do something like what I saw in Captain America. No, that's a serious misconception.
Mm-hmm.
That's what beginners do. They take a lot of things for granted. They don't appreciate the process. They don't realize that it's the person behind the equipment. No matter what camera you use, I can give the greatest camera, the red, or whatever is the hot new thing out there right now, to an amateur and say, hey, go and shoot me a movie or a music video and come back. This is the greatest piece of equipment. They're going to be lost. They're going to be completely lost. Like you give a housewife an M16 and put her in the battlefield and say, hey, go kill a couple of people. It's not going to work. She's not a soldier. She's not a trained soldier. It's not going to work that way. That, Selwyn, is the biggest misconception and the biggest mistake. They think that the equipment is what makes the production. And they have to understand that great movies were being made, great music videos were being made long before these DSLRs came about, or whatever the new craze is.
Gotcha. You know, I got some questions here, Wayne, that I really want to get in. Because as I said, I want to get a multi-dimension perspective on who you are and so on. So, and Ty, you remember you had asked me, what are we going to talk about? Or what am I going to talk about in an hour and a half? You remember you asked me that question?
I did.
I said to you, I said, Wayne,
I honestly didn't think I was that interesting. So
this time, the time flies,
that's
right?
this thing, actually.
And you can tell the audience is enjoying you. I'm enjoying the conversation. So I'm gonna shoot some questions, see how fast you can answer each one. All right. Um, are there any artists in any industry, whether it be art, music, film, or literature, that have inspired you?
Yes, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Mm, okay. You also created Dancehall Glory, which is a
Yeah.
new Jamaican dancehall reality series. What did the experience teach you?
Uh, it taught me that there's more than one way to skin a cat. That you have to be able to be a bit versatile and do things that you might not normally do. Sometimes you have to think outside the box and outside your own box,
Mm-hmm.
not outside the general box.
Win.
Yes.
I'm gonna break my rule. And not even a rule, but I'm gonna break the covenant I just created here with you about rapid fire because that just trigger a question. Your own box. How important it is for us not to become prisoner of our boxes and just step out of the box a lot of times. How important is that?
It is very important because, I don't know what any other field, but
Mm-hmm.
in my field,
Uh-huh.
you get an ego really fast. A huge one. I mean, maybe everybody has an ego, but you get a huge ego really, really fast, and you start to think that your way is the only way, and there are other ways to do things. And you to become a prisoner of your own box. One of your viewers asked a question about reinventing yourself.
Uh-huh.
You have to swallow your pride sometimes and know that hey, you have to keep going. You have to be like Madonna. You have to keep reinventing yourself. You have to keep coming up with something hot. And your way is not the only way. And sometimes you have to look out. You have to like go against your natural instincts and just know that yeah, just try something else. Somebody else criticized your work.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else criticized your personality. Somebody attacked you and insulted you.
Right.
Take good from that.
Yes. Yes.
Even at the time that you heard the insult or the criticism, it really hurt you, and you probably said something you shouldn't have, or you didn't respond the proper way.
Right.
Just a good quiet time. Think about it. Is this true? Could it be true? Explore it. Don't be trapped in your own box. Don't be trapped in any box. Just keep evolving.
Who that is close to you um keeps you in check? Because I have a very close group of friends that keeps me grounded. But who very close to you that if they say Wayne, come on man, you really would listen.
I'm sorry. Repeat.
If who very close to you that can keep you in check, if they say Wayne, look, that's not right, or try it another way, you will listen no matter what.
No matter what, that would be the closest person to that would be my brother.
Your brother, okay.
Yeah, my wife will do that as well,
Right.
and I will listen to her sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should listen to her more often, but my brother is first in line for that.
Wow.
definitely. Yeah, we have some deep, meaningful moments.
I like that. What is your process for gaining people's trust, either before while starting out a project, or when you're in the middle of the project? How do you get to the core of what you're going after?
How do I get to the core of what I'm going after?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's I'm sorry. That would be focus.
Focus.
I hope that's not too vague, but focus.
Okay.
Because you start off with writing a script or writing a treatment, and you have to focus and see it through to the end.
I like
And
that.
that even maybe on the day of shooting, Murphy's Law might pop up and some stuff start going wrong, and just know that you just stay focused. Because here's the thing, so when you might be on a set, let's say we're talking about music videos, and somebody doesn't show up, the rain starts to fall, there's a diva moment, you have to stay focused. If you're going to be doing a film, suppose you get an argument with the lead actor. Yeah, I'm sorry, you have a choice to make.
Ah,
You have a choice to make. Do you want to get what you're doing done, or do you want to ruin it? Focus.
focus.
Focus
Focus.
so much. Just focus.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So, I'm sorry. Have you ever noticed this? I see the movies a lot. If
Mm-hmm.
somebody's walking on a really narrow bridge or something that's really high up, people say don't look down. Just keep your head. Just keep looking where you're going, and you'll make it. It applies to all kinds of other aspects of life.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look down. Don't look behind you. Don't look beside you. There'll be lots and lots of distractions. But focus is so. I know this sounds like a cliche, like when you tell a young person, "Hey, the key to doing things is stick to itiveness or never giving up." You hear that so often. It just sounds like just hey, it's just this quote that the fortune cookie thing that somebody said, and he's just regurgitating it. So when I say focus, it might sound really vague, and it might not be what people want to hear, but focus means so much. It's a
I,
part of our conscious decision.
I agree with that. I admire that you're also a screenwriter and have created short films, namely 6 a.m. Joel, The Craft, and Us and Them. Are there aspects of these films that are somewhat autobiographical?
Yes. You're asking me if they have anything to do with me personally.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, they do. What happens is,
Uh
in
huh.
most of the things I write,
Uh huh.
it's even knowing it at the start, I start to, because most of the times when I'm writing a script, I start to think about who I want to play the role. And sometimes without even thinking about that, I'll be creating a character based off how I'm feeling, of experiences I've had in the past,
Uh
of
huh.
things I'm experiencing now. Like 6 a.m., okay, 6 a.m., Joel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I played the role of Lucifer. But when I wrote the script, the guy called Joel,
Yes.
he's based, he was based off how I was feeling and things I experienced and how I was feeling at the time. And 6 a.m., I don't think I've ever told anybody this before, but 6 a.m., particularly 6 a.m. Joel, was a film where I was actually venting to God.
Mm.
I was like communicating with God through 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people might, you have some people like, oh, the horror. How can you say or do something like that? But I was basically speaking my mind to God.
Mm-hmm.
I've had many disappointing moments with my creator. Different people deal it different ways. This was another way of me really talking to God
Mm-hmm.
and asking him some questions.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't supposed to be an insult. It wasn't supposed to be an attack. But there's some really logical, for lack of better words, man-to-man questions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're autobiographical. They do have something to do with me.
Okay.
They in Us and Them. I play no roles in Us and Them, but there are one or two things in Us and Them that real life experiences. If it's not things I've experienced, it's things that people have said to me or things I've seen people do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I've ever honestly written something that had absolutely nothing to do with me. I have a new screenplay, a new short I wrote a couple months ago. Romola read it and thing. It's called Despair.
Despair.
Yeah, Despair. And I think, you know, and when you ask the question about people who might have had some kind of impact on me and
Mm-hmm.
the choices that I made.
Yes.
Romola is one of them. And the thing about that, she kind of gets me. And I think when she read Despair, I think it was when she read Despair, she said she gets it. She understands that this is just my way of expressing myself. So she even saw that this screenplay called Despair had something to do with me, even though we're not that close. She just picked up on that, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing that I've ever written that has had zero to do with me.
Gotcha. And so, what work of yours are you most proud of, either because of a personal triumph, the physical success of the project, or you just really like the images that came out of the project?
Uh,
You want to come back to that one,
yeah, I'll come back to
or come back to one? Well, what kind of mode do you go into when you're in the middle of a project? And you spoke about focus just now, right?
it. Yeah.
How do you feel when you know you're onto something?
How do I know when I'm onto something?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in writing.
Mm.
That's where it starts. That's where the passion starts. Because I start to get excited. I start to think to myself, yeah, you write this on paper. What's it going to look like? I get really eager to get to post.
Ah.
That's what to get through production. I'm not going to rush through production. Production is a great and important process, but I'm really eager to get to post. I want to see this. I want to see this on screen. So when I'm writing, I get really excited. And when I'm shooting and I see that I'm getting the shots that I want, I get even more excited. You start to edit and you see it coming, you see it coming to life. That's just like the tip of the iceberg, you know. It's like, sorry, not the tip of the iceberg. That's like really, that's like the climax. That's really exciting to see it come through. So yeah, I'm excited through from writing to editing.
And so the lab is a television program that you created
Oh,
to
that's right.
the
So
lab.
that's the old
What do you look
question.
for?
You just answered the old question, the one that we're supposed to get back to.
Yeah,
I absolutely love the lab.
you love it, right?
It's like my virtual child. I love the lab. I have a serious passion. Yeah, call me a big kid. I have a serious passion for video games.
Mm-hmm.
And the lab is probably like that's like my little pet. That's my prized possession. I love the lab.
Well, so where's your go-to? If you don't mind me interrupting, where's your go-to video game that you play when you want to chill out?
They change so often because I have so many. But my go-to game right now is Far Cry 3. The usually it's gonna be like a Call of Duty game or something because like Call of Duty and Battlefield. But right now, the game that I'm on is Far Cry 3. It's really nice.
What is
It
it? Far.
it helps me to get lost.
What is
Video
it?
games
What is it,
also
Wayne?
affect
So,
my creative process.
sorry, what
And
is it, Wayne?
sorry, go again.
What is the name of it?
Far Cry 3. It's
Oh,
amazing.
Far Cry 3. Okay.
Yeah, I love games that offer deep immersion that makes you get lost to the point that hours will pass and you don't realize how many hours have passed. You get lost. You get completely lost in the character, completely lost in the story. A lot of people don't understand. People who don't play video games don't realize what video games do. In my opinion, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but you have books, you have movies, and you have video games.
Mm.
Now, you read the books. That's great. Most people say the books are always better than the movies that are made from the books. Great. You read the books, you watch the movies. You can't interact or change the outcome of a movie. You can't interact and change the outcome of a book. It's set in stone. Video games offer a completely different thing. You can interact with it, and it's amazing. It's not like a lot of people who have not played video games in a while. When they say video games, they think like Pac-Man or they think Mario Brothers with this guy, this plumber jumping about, knocking bricks with the top of his head. But video games have come so far, and video games, like I told you, I love 28 Days Later, and I get lost in games like in movies like that. I get even more lost in video games. A great video game is like one of the most amazing things. It's like there's lots of things that people prefer to be doing on a rainy day. A rainy day, playing some Resident Evil or something. Yeah, a really good video game is like bliss for me. It's like complete bliss, and so it comes back to the lab. The lab is my way of expressing that to whoever's interested in seeing it.
Thanks for the answer. And let me hit the chat room. Mickey said, asked, any books in your future? What's next? I think you responded to what's next, but give it a shot anyway. And I have like three questions I want to ask you, and then ask you to close us out with a some words of wisdom or advice or so on. So you want to take a shot at Mickey's question? Any books in the future?
Any what?
Books.
I'm sorry, did you say books?
Yes. Do you plan on writing any books?
Oh, yes. That's also another thing I mentioned to Romola maybe a couple of months ago that I would like to write a book. I'd like to, I don't really know the process, but I'd like for her to assist me in understanding the process in writing a book so I can understand the difference between writing a book and a screenplay and
Yes.
actually write a book because I've wanted to do that since I was a kid before I started any kind of motion picture production. I'd love to write a book. It would be a great achievement. I mean, especially since this might sound bad, but I don't read a lot of books. I don't think I've ever read an entire novel. I haven't read an entire book before in my life. So to be when I see my wife read a book from cover to cover in like a day or two, I'm amazed by that. I'm very impressed. Certain things in life impress me, like somebody reading a book from cover to cover, somebody riding a bicycle really well or swimming. Certain things just fascinate me and it impresses me. I can't imagine how people do it so well. I'd love to write a book.
And have you ever directed relatives in any of your films? How was
Yes,
that experience?
I have. One of the things that brought me where I am today, including talking to you, is the craft. I created a demo of the craft. I put together this 15-minute or 17-minute demo of the craft, which is how I met the Caribbean Film Academy and whatnot. And the original star, the protagonist was my brother.
Oh,
And that's just a part of the way. That's just one of the ways, in many ways, in which he supports because he's not really that interested in acting or being in front of the camera, but he just did that for me, and it was really cool working with him.
wonderful. So, where's your favorite place to view a movie? Popcorn or chocolate covered raisins? I mean, I'm saying or, but popcorn slash chocolate covered raisins. What do you like?
Hang on a second. Repeat.
What is your favorite place to view a movie, right? And what do you like to munch on when you're viewing movies?
My favorite place is in my living room or man cave.
Man cave.
Yeah, that's the favorite place.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't I eat snacks every now and again, but I'm kind of strict when it comes to what I eat. I'm a fish eating vegetarian. I
Okay.
told somebody that today and they laughed for like 5 minutes straight, but yeah, I'm not sure why. But I'm a fish eating vegetarian. And there's lots of things I don't eat, and I can't think of a snack. There's a snack that I really like, but I can't remember what it is. Every now and again, even though I'm a fish eating vegetarian, I'll eat a Snicker bar. I like that.
Snicker bar.
Yeah.
Oh. And before I would like you to close us off with a few words of wisdom. Before that, two questions. One, where are you finding ideas for your work these days? And two, what makes you laugh?
Well, I find one thing I've never experienced in my entire life is writer's block. I find that once I sit down and make that, I'm going to use the words again, that conscious decision to write, it will come. Once I start writing the first line, it
Mm-hmm.
is guaranteed to keep flowing. Now, maybe when I get happier, like you said, laugh. Maybe when I start laughing more and I'm a happier person, I'll be able to sit and write a whole lot more. I want to create some, feature length films. So far, I've only been writing shorts. But
Okay.
whatever, once if somebody sends me a song, that's even easier than writing a screenplay because when I hear the song, I can, it just, okay, 9 out of 10 of the treatments that I've made, I don't know if people can look at my videos and judge for themselves whether they like the treatments or not, but they hardly ever take me more than 10 minutes to create a treatment for a music video.
Wow.
Hardly ever, unless I have a really fussy client. So the song will inspire me right away. I know exactly what I want to put together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Screenplays, I just need to come up with a starter, even a title or an idea to begin it, and it'll just flow. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, you have. I almost missed this question in the chat room. Mickey said, "Ask Selwyn, can't wait." I guess she's talking about writing a book.
Okay.
And so the question I have for you, Wayne, is well, a request. Could you give us a few words of wisdom or advice? I mean, you've dropped so many here tonight. It's almost like unfair to ask you, but I'm sure you have a reservoir of them um, to close us off.
You have to believe. It's so important to believe in yourself.
Believe.
To understand that everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. And if you ask like 10 different people the same question, they might give you 10 different answers. Understand that because somebody doesn't agree with what you're doing, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it because you can't please everybody. Never you try. Never waste your life trying to make everybody happy. Make yourself happy first. Create things for you first. Don't get up and say, "Well, I'm going to create whatever it is you're creating. Your book. You're going to build a car. Whatever you're going to do. Don't start thinking about what everybody else is going to think about it. Let it be a passion project. Build it from your heart. You actually believe in it. You believe this is the way it should be done. A lot of people are going to say you're hard headed and arrogant or whatever. Just see it through to the end by yourself first. Get it. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't take advice from people, but try to stick to your plan. Know that you believe in it. There's a reason why you believe in it. You came up with this idea and you actually believe in it. A wise man once said that you know success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Once you know it's a worthy ideal, once you know that it's worth it, just stick to it and get it done. Try to get it done your way. Because that's another one. I believe that's another definition of success. To live life the way you want to live it. If to be a multi-millionaire is what you want, great. If to be a guy with a squeegee on the streets cleaning car glasses, that windshields is what you want, then that's your idea of success. That's success. Success is very relative and subjective. Don't let anybody dictate to you what success is. Just know what you want, make a conscious decision to get it done, and do it your way. After that, you can start thinking about other people. But you have to understand that you have to try to please yourself first, then you can try to heal the world afterwards.
That
I
that
hope
is
that helps.
that is some great advice, Wayne. And let me say this: thank you so much for coming on. We enjoyed you. Judging from the chat room, there's one comment. Patrick said, "Excellent advice. Thank you." Um, we really enjoyed this conversation. I learned a lot. You dropped a lot of pearls of wisdom, a lot of advice. I hope the youths who are listening here tonight um, get away or come away learning things like commitment and passion and dedication, and just now, believing in yourself, pleasing yourself, so that you can please others. Mentorship, find someone who is versed, who is experienced in what you're doing, what you want to do, and understudy them or get close to them. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There were so many, Wayne, and I am so glad that you came on this show here tonight. And I want to thank you so much and wish you much success with the production of The Craft and your other projects. I am looking forward to some of these horror films that you plan on producing. You're one of our um, young, upcoming, dedicated, committed, and talented cinematographers. And so I am confident that we are going, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are going to hear much more of you. Tomorrow, or whenever I post the link to this conversation, if you don't mind, in the comments, you probably could mention or go and post the link to your website. I posted it here tonight, but for those who may not have seen the show tonight, not had a chance to tune in, we want to get the word about you and your work out there. So thanks again. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. And thanks to the viewers for your comments and your interest. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me.
You're welcome. And so this is Selwyn Collins saying good night. And on tomorrow, we're having another guest, a sister from South Africa tomorrow. Please tune in, same time, 8:30 to 10 o'clock, and let's join in the chat room and ask questions and make comments and so on, and give her a warm welcome. And thank you for tuning in tonight. Good night. God bless.